no problems. All right, so we're live now. This
Yes,
is
sir.
obviously this is Kiyahuitl and Taboo, Nawasha, and thank you, man, for like I said, to give me an opportunity to have a moment of your day or a moment of your time to be able to have a bit of a discussion about various topics, maybe perhaps your views over indigenous identity, your own opinions or your own experience. I think
Yep.
one of my I guess easiest questions, if it's easy at least, is how did you grow up? Like, did you grow up what you would be considered to be like a stereotypical Mexican American or a Mexican or a stereotypical Native American? Like, o sea, did you grow up eating tortillas or did you grow up eating fried bread or what's up?
Yeah, so that's a beautiful question, man. First and foremost, thank you for having me on. Everybody that's tuned in, I appreciate the time and the space sharing about identity, especially when it comes to my upbringing. I was born in East Los Angeles, actually Boyle Heights, because people will be like, well, that's not East Los, that's Boyle Heights. So big shout out to all my East Los fam, all my Boyle Heights family. I lived in Dogtown, the Dogtown projects, till I was like 5 years old. And yes, I grew up with the cholo atmosphere because the
Mhm.
barrio was all about cholos. And although that was my surrounding, that was my environment, my mom was not a chola. My dad was a cholo because he was from Primera Flats, right? And we're not
Mm.
gangbanging. Sorry, I just got to keep it a buck with you. And so on my dad's side, which I didn't grow up with, I didn't have any connection to my dad because my mom divorced my dad at a young age. But the person that I grew up with was my matriarch, my grandmother, and she was not LA. She was Jerome, Arizona, and she was a proud indigenous woman from Jerome. Prior to states, it was territories. And so she always advocated for indigenous people. She advocated for the love for Arizona and her ancestry and her roots. Although we were embedded in understanding the beauty that is the mosaic of different Mexican backgrounds, some people will trip out like, "Wow, Mexican is not a culture. What's your identity? Your indigenous background? Are you Mexica? Are you Maya from the Yucatan? Like, where are you from? Where's your ancestry from?" Right? So
Yeah.
my family on my grandfather's side is from Sonora. My grandmother's from Arizona. My grandfather was from Sonora. So that was like my upbringing. But I grew up, of course, being immersed in LA with tortillas and Los Dodgers and all el ambiente mexicano, bro. But quinceañeras, cumbia, uh,
Yeah, yeah,
espirito, all that stuff that we grow up on. But also being proud of the connection with my indigenous ancestry on my North American side,
yeah,
Shoshone and Hopi from Arizona. So a lot of the time I wasn't native enough because I wasn't
yeah.
from the res, and I wasn't Mexicano enough because my Spanish was broken. Hablas como pocho, hablas como pocho, right?
Hey,
Pinche pocho. That's what I would hear. Pinche pocho.
I'm
So I was like,
familiar.
wait. Pocho, pocho. Okay, so pocho means like you're a guy from that you have this ancestry that is Mexicano, of course, colonized by the Spaniards because you have a Spanish last name, but you're born in LA, so you're a pocho. Some people say Chicano, which I know you went into like a deep conversation about that with my boy Prince Joshua. That's my brother, by the way. Big shout out to Prince Joshua, aka Mookie. Um, and I grew up confused, bro, because I didn't know.
Mhm.
And so that led me to really do a deep dive as I started getting older because I grew up with my grandmother and I grew up loving the fact that she was from Jerome. It was like a mythical place, Jerome, Arizona,
Yeah,
territory. In Arizona is the Hopi, the Dene Navajos. You had your Apache. You had all these amazing tribes from Arizona. So
yeah,
in my mind, I'm like, even though I'm from LA, my grandmother was my matriarch. She was my superhero, my hero without a cape. I always looked at her upbringing as like, I want to learn more about our ancestry. So I did a deep dive, and as I started getting older, I started researching. I even did a DNA test, like like one of those guys that just wants to do soul searching and whatever. if it's
You were looking
people,
for
yeah,
any
people will be
type of
like, oh,
information to give you.
yeah, what's your blood quantum? What, pretend Indian, all this bullshit that we hear that the gatekeepers have about people that are urban natives like myself that were born in LA and are trying to reclaim my indigeneity. I
Yeah.
think that's the beauty of it all, is like, how do I continue to be inspirational and inspire for our 7 generations, but also like to inspire my kids to hold on to our ancestry as well. And that's why I wrote this book, and I did it in
Yeah, I was
English
gonna
and
ask
Spanish.
you
Sorry
about
about
that.
that. Like
Un
this.
libro de para niños, niños sobre identidad. Hey.
You know what I mean? So I did it in English and Spanish so that we have two perspectives. And I felt like the word that I wanted to best use for pride and for making sure that everybody knows um, the beauty of being you know is indigenous,
Indígenas. Ajá.
because a lot of people run away from it and be like,
Oh
me
yeah.
siento como indio, la India Maria. It's like, come
Hey,
on, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
honestly, for real, are you serious? So I grew up with that idea of wanting to learn more about my indigenous roots and my ancestry. Although growing up with a lot of Mexican customs, not traditional customs, because I didn't grow up with posadas and la rosca and all that stuff that
Well, I think most like what people consider to be like Mexican tradition is it's just really national customs of mixture of indigenous customs all like balled together, you know?
facts upon facts. So that being said, I use my weapon and my tool, which is my brain and my mind, to be able to create snippets of I guess you can say, of snapshots of where I want to take this whole essence of connecting with my identity. So I created this song that I want to play for you right now, because we are going to share music too. Let's
Sure.
keep it up. Let's keep it 100. If we're gonna go all the way, let's go all the way. Let's not
Sure,
just
échale.
let's do it, bro. So this one is dedicated to you and all my relatives, mexicas. Um, you know, un abrazo a todos mis mexicas, mis aztecas, who are reclaiming or part of the beautiful essence that is the Mexica people. So this song is called Mexica Tiahui, and it features my girl, I said, Quetzali. She's from Mexico también. She's Azteca. So this is a beautiful,
Aquetzali.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is a
Yeah.
beautiful,
She's from Guerrero.
yeah, bro. She's a beautiful essence, beautiful sister. So I dedicate this to you and to the relatives, los parientes de Mexico, de Mexico, Tenochtitlan, and this is Mexica Tiahui. Check it out.
Soy de la tierra que nunca agoniza, vengo de abuela de sangre nativa. En el espejo yo veo su color, en sus ojitos refleja valor. 500 años si quieren negarla, su resistencia conmigo no acaba. Parto de ella, orgullo y honor, sangre sureña, guerrera yo soy. Mirada de fiera, cabeza hacia el cielo, postura de diosa, su habla sin miedo, combate y triunfa. Triunfa y avanza, me hereda su ira, nativa en el alma. Me despojaron de todo recuerdo, llenaron mi mente de odio y recelo. La India María y el sucio tizoc. Mi abuela no es india, es nativa, pero ahí viene tu
It's
abuela
just like,
bajada del cerro. Del cerro es de donde se da el alimento, orgullo y saber de dónde es mi raíz. Mi hogar, mi familia, mexica hasta el fin.
Let's go. Mexica Tiahui, Mexica Tiahui, Mexica Tiahui, Mexica, 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 Mexica. Azteca Batman, I'm a leader. Endero, endero, endero. Sangre Azteca primero. Mexica, Mexica, Mexica. Azteca Batman, I'm a leader. El mero, el mero, el mero. Sangre
you're pumping me up with that one, bro.
Come on, bro. That's the war drums, brother. That's the
You get me
war
too.
cry right
I'm
there.
already going. You get me too excited, making me go get a spear and shit. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. We're pumped.
You gonna be pumped up with that one. Yeah, I didn't know. Akatali. Hey,
Yeah, dude,
she's
she's
cool.
a relative, man. And when I went to Mexico, I went to visit my boy Pat Boy in Yucatan, Mayan relative, and I also
Hmm.
went to Guerrero, um, uh, and I visited Aquetzali and Shu, Hijos del Maíz. I don't know if you know that blog that they do, Hijos del Maíz. It's pretty
Nah,
dope.
I'm
It's
not
on
familiar.
Instagram. Check it out, bro.
She's from what is now known as Tierra Caliente,
Hmm.
and my 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 region is neighboring to their region. Is we're actually right next door to each other, so to say. But I'm from La Zona Norte,
Nice.
which is right next to hers. But we're as oddly as close as we are, we're also like different in so many ways.
Mhm.
But we're still family.
No doubt.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know how I came across with Kesali, man, but she's dope. I had a privilege to talk to her briefly. Random, I tuned in one of her lives. She noticed me. She was, oh, Kiawi. And then I tuned in, and she's all, would you join me? And I was like, I'm all here looking
Right,
all
right.
rugged.
She put you on the spot, bro.
Hell yeah. And I was like, sure, whatever. I joined, and she was just telling me that it's bien peleonero. She was just like,
¿Verdad?
you're a very, And I was just like,
Pero-
all penoso. I was all penoso because, like, yeah. I mean, you're not lying. That's dope, man. Have you
Thank you,
released
brother.
it yet? Have you released the song
No,
yet? Or?
no, I haven't. It's something that I created, and it's got to have the right partnership, the right vehicle, because I don't want it to just be a YouTube thing. I want it to really impact community, impact and
Mhm.
inspire, and do something where it's like you create art, you create music for the world to receive, and it's part of my lineage, bro. Black Eyed Peas, we make music whether people rock with it or not. We make music for the world. And
Yeah, and no,
my next year will be my 30-year anniversary of Black Eyed Peas being a group. So now I'm able to give back to Indian country. A lot of relatives.
I wanted to tell you this. When I first seen you, was that song?
Stand up, rock.
Where is the
Oh
love?
yes, where's love? Yes, yeah,
Bro. When I first seen you on there, I felt good about myself because I think at that time I wouldn't really wasn't seeing too much representation of people of like myself,
yeah.
of
Yeah.
and when I seen that shit, it was very like hell yeah, like I didn't give a damn what part of
Yeah,
Mexico or what part of like Latin
yeah,
America you were from. I was like, there's representation right there,
yeah.
and it was dope, man.
I
And
appreciate that, bro. And the message is still relevant to this day, bro. Like that
mhm,
message
mhm,
of love, being the conduit of hope and inspiration, leading with love, and that's kind of what my message has been lately. After I battled cancer in 2014, I was looking for healing, unconventional healing, and that's what led me to Standing Rock. That's what led me to really find myself and really reclaim my roots and my identity and understand that I can be a voice and an advocate for indigenous people. Not speak for everyone, just speak as one of us. It's like if I have my platform as a Black IP, I want to be able to shine the light on indigenous communities, not just in the US and Mexico, but worldwide because of the
yeah,
global reach that Black IPs has. So why not be that conduit of hope? Why not go to different communities and be inspirational and advocate and give people a sense of that motivation that we need, bro. Like we're so caught up in trying to be crabs in the bucket mentality that a lot of times we bring each other down because we're
mhm,
somos peleoneros. Los
yeah,
cabrones
yeah,
somos peleoneros.
yeah. No, but I mean, I don't have a problem admitting when someone's better than me than in something, or anything really.
Yeah,
But I try to put or find the truth of things.
yeah.
Like for example, I'm not trying to be a punk, but in Huehuetlactoli, which is a classical Nahuatl, I know that in modern day times people say Mexica Tiawi,
Mm-hmm,
right? And it's
mm-hmm,
supposed to be an essence of like Mexica people move forward or keep on going forward. But in Huehuetlactoli, the original aspect or one of the known oldest literature written to express that, it's o ohgetza,
Mhm.
ohgetza, and it's just a verbing,
Right.
and it literally it translates to make path, hacer camino, you
Mhm.
know. And so yeah, the original way was ohgetza,
Well,
and
that's why we need, folks like yourself that are doing the deep dive that actually come from that essence. And like for me, it's surface, right? It's learning, educating myself, not claiming to know everything because I'm not the
yeah,
all
yeah,
knowing
me
guy, right?
neither, me neither.
It's all good, bro. And at the end of the day, every day is a learning experience. And you learn from different regions, different communities, different folks, different relatives. And that's what it is. It's a cultural exchange. And if we can provide art, we can provide information. What you do when you drop the word of the day, like you're like, yo, today I'm going to teach you about this word and then the essence of where it comes from. All that shit is great, man, because we need that, bro. We need to be students, but we also need to advise and lead and be guides into this journey of learning and appreciating this cultural exchange. And that's why I
Yeah,
got into you, bro. That's why I was like, yo, I like where this cat's going with it. I like his the way he connects with on Instagram. Um, the fact that you don't have any filter. There's no there's no trick to you. It's just like this is what it is. You take me as it is, whether you rock with it or not. This is who I am. I'm not gonna change for anybody. If I'm wrong, I'll tell you that I'm wrong. But at the end of the day, like that's what makes you you. And that's why I was like, you know what? I like those type of things. I like being uncomfortable. I like those conversations because guess what?
mm-hmm.
I was uncomfortable when I battled cancer, bro. And guess what? I beat that demon, right? So there's nothing that words or people, human beings can ever do to deflect the light that I have, bro. I have this light that I just want to exude to the world. And you have that too. And I know you said you have a crazy upbringing with gangbanging and then you evolve into the person that you are. But your light of who you are now, bro, is so powerful that you need to still continue to lean into that. How old are you?
I'm 35 now.
Bro, you're so young, dude. I'm 50. I'm 50 years old. So I've been there. I've been in my 30s and now I'm in my 50s. I fought when I was 41, when I had no, what was that? 40, 43,
Early
2014.
40s.
Early 40s, I had cancer. And then I beat that. But it taught me how to have resilience, how to have humility, how to be vulnerable in a sense of like not, shedding ego and not thinking like I'm at a higher platform than everybody else, but being at surface. And that's why I started this tangent saying I'm at the surface because I love learning, I love educating, I love
Yeah,
information, and that's why I think this conversation needed to be had, bro. And when you're
yeah.
like, yo, the 20th, I got my mentor. I was like, okay, cool. The next day, the following day, we're going, bro.
I know. That's because he. So I had offered him the. I was all like, "Yo, when you be on the 20th?" I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit."
No, but big shout out to your boy. What's his name? Joaquin.
Quautzin. Well, I call him. Well, in Nahuatl, we can never refer to ourselves as. I mean, for example, in a honorific manner. So I can't call myself Kiyahuitzin. I can't call myself that. Only people can call me that. So so he. For me to respect him, I had to call him Quautzin, but it's Quautli.
Quatley.
And so I call him Quautzin. We just out of respect, for him and his name,
Yeah.
and yeah, but yeah, it's Quautzin. Yeah, he's a dope. He's dope, man. He's also very passionate about what he's been doing. For 20 years, been
Yeah.
at this journey, and just having to trying to revitalize the western Nahuatl of Mexico, which is in like the southern parts of Jalisco, into Colima and Michoacan region,
Oh, that's
like
dope, dude.
that.
That's
Yeah, hell yeah.
yeah.
That's something very beautiful, in my
Yeah.
opinion. It should be respected, but
Yo,
yeah,
shout
he.
out to him, bro. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just wanted to take time to acknowledge his mentorship because I know you spoke highly of him, and I just want to say thank you on behalf of all the folks that want to, learn and be educated about your beautiful customs and your language. I thank you for being that conduit of inspiration, bro. We need more relatives like that. We need more leadership. We need more guidance. That's what it's
Hmm.
about, man. a lot of these platforms and these podcasts and these abilities to get on a forum, it's about leadership, bro. It's about leading the dance and really advocating for folks to learn and to educate themselves and to take time, whether it be 10 people or 10,000 people. You never
Hmm.
know the effect that you can have on one person. Next thing you know, you're affecting the next person.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, you're affecting and inspiring a million people with knowledge and information,
Hmm.
just to become a better version of ourselves, bro. And that's
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
you know.
Like for me, I've always been like a person where I, I used to believe these illusions of of unity because I do thirst for that. I still even thirst for
Yeah,
that. Having unity amongst and having community and all that, right? But I think what I've noticed over the years is that people speak of this unity and as if we are necessary, like if as if we are in it, but in reality we are not. I've seen a lot of like colorism, racism, classism. I'm growing up.
yeah,
Especially growing up in here in Santa Barbara, where it's just like black and white, pretty much. It's just either you're rich or you're like in the low income barrios or whatever.
mhm,
If you At one point Santa Barbara had a pretty rough barrio, but it got gentrified over the years. But I think yeah, like I said, a lot of the times we speak of this unity, but we don't necessarily find a way to get that. And then within Nawa communities, there's different types of Nawas. We all identify as Nawas, but we derive from different Nawa groups. Like Tlaxcala, Tenec, uh, Totonaca, Tlahuica, in just in general, Nahua, Mexicas, um, and various other groups. And I think a lot of the times people don't know that that we're not united. Like we're not united people. And as we should be, but the only thing we have in common would be the fact that we speak a variant of Nahuatl.
mhm.
And I don't know when will be the day when Nahuatl people would genuinely, I guess, quote unquote, unite. And now and I don't even know what that looks like. Other than just to seeing a congregation of Nahuatl leaders. But
Yeah.
where, like, what would that take the nation? I guess I suppose it's a sleeping giant, really. And then on top of that, in Mexico, pues, is there's no interest to be indigenous in Mexico.
I
There's more
know, dude,
interest.
that's fucked up, man. That for me, that hurt me when I heard, you know, like for example, being. I mean, I'm in the U.S., right? So for me, it's like when I go to Mexico, I will never be um, blind to the politics and to um, the wrongs that have been done to indigenous people, right? Just like the U.S. But the fact that there's this shame of saying that you're indigenous, indigena. If you say indigena, it's like, oh my God. So no, 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 because it's like
Yeah.
they make it seem like, oh, indigena, eres como la India
Sorry,
Maria,
man,
or like,
I've
you know what I'm
seen that.
saying?
I've seen it with my own eyes too.
Right? It's a shame that over here in the U.S. we're like indigenous pride, indigenous excellence. We're like so advocating for the beauty that is our ancestry, right? Indigenized. And then you go to Mexico and it's like, oh, if you say indigena, it makes you feel like you're from the countryside. Y hablas como un indito, bueno, like that type of shit. It's like, nah, bro, no, no, no. I want to uplift the people. I want to bring
Hmm.
everybody with the confidence and the strength and advocate for those people, because at the end of the day, who are we if we are not united, right? And that's to your point. To your point. Unfortunately, there's a division, right? But there takes people that are not scared, like us, to sometimes poke the bear and have conversations that are uncomfortable that people will quote unquote take as like, oh, eres peleonero. But no, bro, like you're advocating, you're constructively trying to move forward, right? Having
Yeah.
conversations. You're not being a
Uh,
dick about it, dude.
yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah. Another custom that I think a lot of people is not a custom. I should say this. Okay, so what I've seen throughout my years is paisanos that come over here that are strongly indigenous. Um, a lot of the times they're non-confrontational when it
Right.
comes to other people speaking to them of out of
Yeah.
their ethnic group
Hmm.
or their race or whatever. They're very humilde. They're
Yeah.
just like, you know,
Hmm.
and and I've seen when regardless of whoever somebody mistreating them, they'll just kind of take it and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and me being born over here, descending from all of that, I did experience it, you know, with amongst the Mexican American community here. I felt that I have the responsibility for having the privilege to be able to like speak in English, being quote unquote American from the United States, and it's like, no, I'm not like your regular indigena, you know, like you're gonna hear from me,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Of
hear my
course.
voice, you're gonna hear me, you know, roar, so to say,
It's true, bro.
and I'm intellectual about, you know, I don't know all of history, but I'm familiar with history,
Hmm.
and you know, it was like this. For example, this one time, this white American lady, literally trespassed into our property where I live. Was not our house, but where I live,
Hmm.
and being a Karen or whatnot, right? She was probably we were having Mexican music or así como banda, así un grupillo, algo like real, you know, low income or whatnot, and she comes in thinking that she was gonna see like, you know, immigrants or whatever, which she whatever she kind of did. But you know, I put myself in front of everybody. I was like, yo, you know what the fuck are you doing here? If I wanted to be a punk about it, I could have like slammed her because she trespassed. I don't know who she was. You know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
a white lady. And well, I started like walking with her. Like I was just telling her all kinds of shit. You know, like you know why you know this was once Mexico for like 20 years or whatever, but you know how you guys got this land because of racist bastards like you that came into our this land and you know and trying to tell us what to do and da 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 da, like, you know, like I just went off. Like
Yeah.
I was like,
Started
you
schooling
want us
her. Huh? Yeah.
yeah, I was like, you want us to go back to our country? I was like, I'll start doing that when I start seeing all of your people going back to Europe. Like, you know, I was just
Yep.
going crazy on this lady, man. And yeah, I don't really intimidate very easily. Um, I mean, I just, you know, like this person probably was expecting somebody to like to I guess sort of to submit
Of course.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever authority she believes she had, and I think that's why, and I kind of reflected on my social medias that I don't really I don't intimidate, you know, I'm not afraid of confrontation. I'm I've had crazy wild stories on social media, and all of those stories I've always was ready and willing to be right there confrontational, like you know me voy a rajar, you know, like I never had none of this, man. Like I always see myself as that little poor brown prieto Mexican kid from un pueblo chiquito called Acayahualco Guerrero. You know, that's where my roots are from, and I don't see myself like any better than anybody else, but I also don't see myself any more less than anybody else. You know, and I try to treat everybody with respect and fairness, and how I would like to be treated. You know, though unfortunately, there's people out there that just, you know, pick the wrong Mexican, so to say, and
Ah,
I blow out, so to say. I lash out at these people, and I think I don't just lash out. I try to be educational and in my own weird way. Like
mhm.
I've always been misunderstood, and I think I will always be misunderstood. And but I just try, you know, I try to put a purpose into my days and to my words that I speak and etc. You know,
That's dope, man.
and
That's why kindred spirits always fly the same flock, right? And you have the same um, approach to wanting to just live your day, being a better version of yourself each day. And I may not agree with everything that with your computational side, because I'm about love, right? So for me, it's like
Mhm.
I'll have a stance, and I'll uh, when I need to be assertive, I'll insert myself. But life is too short, man, for me. And honestly, when I battled, I keep going back to this battling
Yeah,
fucking
no, but that's
demon.
it's just a valid experience, bro.
This
You know?
big demon fucked me up, dude, and it was so traumatic. It was so like I almost didn't make it because of the type of cancer that was spreading from my right testicle to it would have spread to my lungs and into my brain. Unfortunately, I had to do westernized medication, which I offset with holistic healing as well. Um, but I I shed my bravado, and a lot of my upbringing was bravado because I'm part of hip hop culture as a b-boy, breaking, battling, MCing, all the shit that I have done as a hip hop kid growing up was always about bravado. And when
Mhm.
I battled this horrible disease, I said to myself, like, life is too short. And then I had my daughter, bro, and I was like, come on, bro, like nothing prepares you for a girl like your own baby girl, right? So I had my boys. My son Josh is 31. My son Jimmy is 15. My son Journey, who's 13, and then my daughter Jet, right? She's 8. And I said to myself, like, do I be on that level where I used to be, where I always used to like try to poke and like jab when people are trying to jab at me, or do I let it go and just live to fight another day because I know at the end of the day I want to live for my kids? Because man, you don't know, bro. Like these motherfuckers are crazy out there, dude. And the
Yeah.
more encabronado and pinche pedo that we have with other people, sometimes motherfuckers will take it to the next level, and I'm not ready for that shit. I'm not ready to go to the next level because I don't want to go there, right? And I'm not no punk, but at the end of the day, like I got so much to live for
Yeah,
with
yeah. Yeah,
being
yeah, of course.
a man in my daughter's life that I'm like, yo, am I gonna fight on Instagram? Am I gonna be
Nah.
confrontational on
Ah,
Instagram,
pues dude, you for you, pues you got for me, for what I see, you got things to live for, like honorable things, like that
bro?
that is
You too,
there's
though.
nothing in the
No,
there's
bro,
nothing in the world can match to that value.
bro, I'm telling you, dude, you're such an inspiration, dude. Like, don't like your light, and I'm keeping it a buck. This is not me glazing you. This is not me like jacking you off or fucking like
Nah, I
doming
don't even
you.
think of that.
This is me being honest and transparent that you are a person that's inspirational. The youth needs you. The world needs your voice because you teach a lot of us that when you're not in your competitive mode and computational mode, you are kicking some fucking facts, bro. You're kicking some shit that I'm like, yo, I'm 50. This guy has like the ancestors speaking through him, bro. And that's why I'm a fan of yours. I believe that you can be so much more than what you know that you are, because sometimes we doubt ourselves and we're like we don't
Yeah.
know the light that we bring unless someone from the outside sees that. And so for me,
Yeah, yeah.
that really respects you and
I'm
appreciates.
cursed.
No, bro, like
No, I'm gonna say I'm cursed because I feel that the day that I feel all of what you're stating to me, I've had other people tell me similar things. I feel if I yield to that, I guess, or bend to that, that I won't no longer be myself anymore. The humble me. I feel that I have to have that doubtfulness. I gotta have that criticism about me.
yeah, I
Because
feel like you could be constructive to your own right, but when you have a light and a message that is inspirational and positive and optimism for uniting our people, like that's fucking beautiful, bro. We don't have a lot of voices like that. We don't have a lot of
yeah.
heroes without capes in our communities that'll go to the front lines and take the fucking L, at the same
Mhm.
time take the W, because we're standing at the front lines and being like, yo, I'll take the constructive criticism, but also take the bullets and the daggers that you guys are throwing at me because I'm that guy, right? I have a hard shell, and there's nothing that any human can do to me that I feel can penetrate the spirit and the light that I have. Right? They can judge you, they can criticize, they can uh, critique, but at the end of the day, you're still going to be the person that you are. So I'm just telling you, bro, from a person that has never met you in person, but what I see on Instagram,
Dude, de veras
on
mi
your best day, on your best days, bro, you're inspirational. I don't know about the computational shit because I don't apply to that. I apply to the light that you bring, and I appreciate that, and that's why I'm rocking with you, bro, because you do have that. If I didn't give a fuck, I wouldn't even be here, but I do because I know that at the end of the day, we need relatives like yourself to bring that light, you know. And
yeah,
yeah, rough on the edges. I get that shit. We all have different backgrounds that we come from, but at the end of the day, like I'm just telling you, from a relative that has walked in that path, I see you as the future of conduit of hope for our relatives, bro.
yeah. In person, I'm very, very, very polite, man, and very respectful. I'm like very generous. I'm all
Let's go. Love that.
like, I make
Yeah,
you feel at home, like type
yeah,
status, like welcomed,
yeah.
And social media is it's its own entity on its own, like like for example, I made this like a character, so it's like a social experiment kind of started because well, I don't even know how to. So this character that I made is called Johnny Brisket.
Hmm.
It was literally built to educate on the fact of the privileges of being light complected or light skinned or white passing or whatever. Um, and I said like, okay, so why is it okay for people of that predicament to be white passing or light or whatever to be a part of Native American communities or African American communities and all these other things, right? So, but why is it okay when it comes to that? But when it comes for a person of color that has quote unquote white blood, Spanish blood. I have Spanish blood. I have white blood. I don't look white, right? And so we have these terms, right? White passing. So I'm brown passing to them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So John Brisket is just me pretty much embracing my quote unquote white lineage of me and portraying myself and I only see myself as a white man. And I say like, like some like weird shit. Like yesterday, like for example, I did like it was inspired by Dave Chappelle.
Hmm.
Um, uh,
Love Dave Chappelle. Chappelle's the
Clayton
goat.
Bigsby,
Yeah.
it was kind of like that. They're like, well, what if I was to tell you you're African American? He's all, sir. He's all, I was like, I'm in no shape or form part of the,
Classic, bro.
like he said. So I did the same thing, but instead it was like in the indigenous version of it. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of social issues amongst ourselves, and I think, well, not think, I one of my fears is that if I'm so welcoming to people like on social media that I feel that people will abuse more the indigenous people.
Mm.
you know I feel that they won't be considerate of those people.
Yeah,
And like I said, I know I recognize my privileges, and I wouldn't want the voiceless to be continue to be voiceless. I want those people to get up and just say, ya basta, it's enough of this.
of
It's
course.
been going on for so long. Colonialism been going on for so long. It has affected every single one of us that live in the Americas, and different magnitudes. And some of us are fortunate to still be able to discover our genuine raíces, and some of us are not. And it's not your fault nor my fault. It's unfortunately the colonialism that is continuing. And I think a lot of the times people don't understand it or don't see it. And like for instance, I was thinking about earlier, like, damn, people really blame me for some of these things that I say. It's like you shouldn't just blame me. Like you should blame the politicians. You should blame. those that occupied your indigenous land. You know, it's not it's not it's not no one's fault. You know, it's not Nawa people's fault for you to be using them as a stepping stone to quote unquote reconnect with your indigenous side.
Yeah. Have you
I
ever?
was looking I was looking I was gonna say I was looking a little bit like with the indigenous groups that you belong to or whatever, possibly since you were from Sonora. All
Mhm.
I know, I came with the ultimate conclusion that you actually descend from a long line of Uro Aztecan indigenous people, speaking people. Now I'm not giving you a like a certain indigenous group,
Yeah.
but Shoshones is Uro Aztecan, Hopi is Uro Aztecan, and all the indigenous groups within Sonora are Uro Aztecan.
Mm.
And what does that say? That you and I, me being Nawa from Guerrero, and we're obviously Uro Aztecan, we are genuinely relatives because we
Mm.
all descend from one indigenous group that spoke uh, whatever language the Uro Aztecan language family tree originally spoke. You know, we're
Yeah.
more related than in that aspect than now what people being related to Ojibwe because Ojibwe is it's a whole different family of language, right?
Yeah. Well,
So
the Ojibwe, the Canadian relatives, there's a lot of dope Canadian relatives that I've been blessed to learn from in Canada, and that's what I think. Just leading on to what you're saying about connecting and how we learn from the relatives up north and our relatives in the U.S. or Turtle Island or Indian country, and then going down south and how it all connects and how we're able to embrace the ancestry and the roots, but still everyday learning about how we can continue to piece the dots. Because
mhm.
honestly, bro, it's really up to us to do the deep dive and do knowledge of self, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so that being said, I wanted to ask you a question.
go for it.
So you went from being a gangster or a gangbanger at a young age. When
Mhm.
did you realize I need to do a deep dive and do a knowledge of self and really come out the phoenix that you are now?
I I'm gonna be what I'm gonna be honest with you. Uh, when I was 18, um, I was already like in the like questioning myself. I started to question. I guess my conscience just I don't know what rose it or whatever. Um, I was definitely in a state of that moment of that 18 age. I was questioning a whole lot. Like, why am I proud to be Mexican? Why am I proud of all this? Why do I care so much about like Virgin Mary? Or like, I was just like, just questioning myself so much. And then when I was stabbed when I was 18. Nothing was life threatening though, but I was stabbed. But just to think that another human being wanted to cause you harm, it's a
Yeah.
trip, bro. You know. Um, yeah, and I made a decision that obviously goes against the gangster code, and and that was a way for me to destroy my world.
Mm.
You know, to destroy what I stood for, what I believed in at that time. I felt like I had to do this so I can grow out of it. You know, because I think a lot of the times people grow, but they still have attachments to what they were. You know, or what they are or whatnot, and that's why you see veteranos, you know, all like
Yeah. Yeah.
brochados, like, damn, G, you're fucking 50 years plus, and you're still dressing like you're a teenager.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
from back in the day, you know?
Yep. Hmm.
So when I was 18, you know, I made that decision. And bro, when I made that decision, oh man, I was suicidal. I was suicidal because I straight up destroyed that world, you know?
Hmm.
Like I felt like I was no longer because I felt like a warrior when I was a cholo, you know, like oh, this is for da 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 for my neighborhood, you know, and etc. And when I destroyed that, I felt like I failed my people. I felt, I just felt shitty, bro.
Yeah.
Like you have no idea. And then I came across SZLN, EZLN, El Ejército de Zapatista de Liberación Nacional.
Nice.
And
Chiapas.
and yeah, and now hear like su comandante do his speeches and stuff like that, and seeing other dark ass motherfuckers like me on Moreno and shit. Like I felt I connected to that, deeply,
Hmm.
deeply. Because then I kind of gave myself an answer like, yo, I was believing into something that I wasn't even wasn't really made of me, so to say. They weren't my people. My neighborhood wasn't my people. They were my people, but I'm talking about my indigenous people.
Right.
People that didn't even look like me. A lot of my homeboys are all from like Sinaloa, fucking Jalisco, Aguascalientes, a lot of northern states of Mexico. They're all like complected primarily,
Yep.
and I'm all here prietazo and just I stood out like a sore thumb. And then when I started to see like los zapatistas are all brown, even regardless if they had their ski mask on, like I was like I know those are my folks right there, and that inspired my revolutionary um spirit within myself. And then that's where the whole like educating myself more and started to see, like I said, my privileges, and started to see where I came from and originated. The interest just se empezó de ahí, that was the root of it.
Mm.
And I am always going to be power to the people, power to those that are not being heard, they're not being seen. And then those are the indigenous people of any part of the world, bro.
Right.
Any part of the world. Don't matter if they're from Africa or from Middle East, Asia, all
Mhm.
those, indigenous people, those are the ones being forgotten or dismissed, overlooked, uh, manipulated
Yeah.
for their ancestral lands. And, they're not being fought for. Like that's why I'm not really so like easy to be one of those people to be like, yeah, you're indigenous, like, because like those are the people in the back of my mind, just like damn. I remember growing up because all the people that I have around me, other than like my family and stuff, they're all, they're all people that come from the countryside of Mexico, the indigenous pueblos of Mexico.
Hmm.
So I've always had that around me, and I thought all of Mexico was like that at one point, the ignorance. But
Yeah.
I realized that no, I come from, so to say, the slum. I come from a long line of campesinos, field workers.
Yep.
Just my grandfather, my grandfather, my great. I was just like, Dad, give me a doctor at least. But now they're all campesinos. But I take pride in that. Other people probably won't, but I take a lot of pride in that. In fact, when I get a little bit more older, I would love to go over there to my pueblo and leave all of this shit, all the social media shit, like vivir la vida con mis abuelos, go
Yep.
sembrar, cosechar, and just, live a very simple life, enjoy the las aguas del río, right next to my pueblo, go see el ojo de agua, una vida bien amplia, very simple. I don't need to have all of this, man, to be happy. I think I would be happy like if I was in your situation, being a father, being there for attentive to your children, being all that, like, being involved with your family.
Yeah.
That's more beautiful than anything else in the world, bro.
Bro,
And
it's a blessing. It's an honor to be to leave a legacy, not a catalog of music, bro. A legacy for my kids to be like, my dad did this to for us, right? It wasn't about my job. It's not about my profession. It's just about like being there because I didn't have that. I didn't have a dad in my life. I had my mom's boyfriend, but dude, I was such a knucklehead growing up that I mean, I had a kid at 17 years old, and
mhm,
I was basically counted out, right? But when I met Will I Am and Apple and we became Black Eyed Peas, I was like, yo, I got an outlet, bro, through music, through art, but still holding on to wanting to be an inspiration to community, and especially to our youth, because at the end of the day,
That's your
like,
indigenous within you, bro. That's like that need of community. That I that's something within indigenous.
yeah, man,
I don't know, man.
it's
It's a
always
trip.
that, dude, and it's instilled by my grandmother. Like I said, she was the matriarch, but she would always be of service, sometimes to her own detriment. But at the end of the day, like, she taught me how to be a person that always wanting to give back to my communities, to inspire our youth through art, through music, through optimism, through positivity. Because that's what it is, man. I'm the guy that did Where's the Love, right? So my whole
Yeah.
being is about love. Like, if I can shed love with the world, and it's through music, through art, through conversation, then that's my contribution, right? Your
Mhm.
contribution may be different than mine, but at the end of the day, we're going to the same goal of, like, wanting to live the simple life. I don't need the glamour, glitz, fucking all that nonsense to live a good life, bro. Like, I love,
Exciting, yeah, but it's like,
yeah. At the end of the day, if I have my wife and my kids, I'm good, man. Like, I've done everything that I had to do professionally, and I will continue living this beautiful dream. But at the end of the day, like, if it was all gone tomorrow, which I almost lost because I had cancer, and I probably, if I didn't fight as strong as I fought, I probably wouldn't be here. I know we have a little bit of time left, but I just wanted to say, on behalf of myself and everybody that's tuned into your show, to your live streams, and through your Instagram posts, like, thank you, man. Thank you for being that voice, and you're gonna continue being that voice.
yeah,
Um,
we could. I mean, we can end it whenever you're ready, bro. Like,
yeah, I just got.
I got
Let me.
time, man.
I know, dude,
It's
but
up
let
to
me
you.
talk my time, because we've been on for an hour, so I know I got my daughter over there, like,
Yeah,
damn,
yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I got to be mindful of that.
Apúrate. Nah.
Yeah, apúrate. As much as I want to talk to you for freaking hours, man, because it's been a great conversation, very intuitive but very educational. Um, I just want to say thanks, bro. And if we can, I want to leave with a song. We
Sure.
started with a song. I want to leave with a song, bro.
So,
So
sopa, Simón.
so so this one is "Come and Get Your Love." We remade the song by Redbone, actually with Pat Vegas from Redbone. He's playing bass, and it's featuring the Mag Seven, who are seven different MCs from Indian country: Ojibwe, Osage, Seminole, Crow, Yaqui, um, Shoshone, and also there's one more, Kahara Hodges and Navajo. So all these amazing relatives came together to create this song, "Come and Get Your Love." So I want to play it for you real quick,
All
if
right.
that's cool.
Yeah, of course, man.
And thank you for tuning in. Whoever tuned in, appreciate the love and support. Keep following my brother right here, because he's inspirational. He brings light. También trae bronca a veces, but it's all good. Pinche peleonero.
Yeah, yeah, son peleonero. But I do it out of love, though. I do it for those
Now,
people, like I said, the forgotten ones, the ones that are overlooked, the ones,
yes, sir.
you know.
I get it, but I just love the humor, man. I love being, humorous and having that laughter, because laughter is that good medicine. It's that healing element,
Yeah.
you
The
know. So,
laughter within Mesoamerica and Mexica culture, the laughter is associated to Tezcatlipoca
mm,
or Tezcatlipocatzin, if I
yeah,
want to put honor into his name.
yeah.
Yeah, that laughter what separates us, so to say, from the animals, quote unquote, supposedly. But
So
yeah,
this is come and get your love. Um, First time you guys are checking it out. It's dope, because we got Pat Vegas, Redbone playing bass on the hook, and then we got the Mag Seven rocking with me. So check it out. This is "Come and Get Your Love." Oops, no mames, güey.
different rola.
¿Verdad? Different rola. Hold on, homie. Hold on. A ver. Perdón. I'm killing time. I'm supposed to be on freaking time. I got my JBL speaker.
No, it's associated to Tezcatlipoca and Xochipilli. It's something else.
All right, so check it out. All right, here we go. Logged in. Cool. Here we go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, all the relatives for tuning in. This is a world premiere, live and direct, right here. Check it out.
I definitely getting that Red Bull vibe.
So don't pull my people from the grass to the street. It's all love when we step on the scene. Let's get that money so we living like kings. Mayday is going down like a black hot. You know the drill, we show you on the map now. We get foot through the game like a Sasquatch. And slice through your lane with my tomahawk. No Russians in the house, we go wild out. Raise your hand, stop.
That was the wrong version, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. This is live and direct.
Oh,
That was the wrong
and
version.
I was getting a Red Bull vibe though.
No, hold on. That was the wrong version. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I do this for a living, by the way. But sometimes I mess up, and it's all good. That's what being live is about. Here we go. Try it again. Here we go. All right, let's go.
All hail to the chief and your foot's on the beat. So don't pull my people from the grass to the street. It's all love when we step on the scene. Let's get that money so we living like kings. Mayday is going down like a drop top. You know the drill, but you shorty on the map now. We been foot through the game like a Sasquatch. Cause they're running out of time on the shot clock. Life moves fast, at times a blur. People and their mothers maybe ain't secure. Some he said, probably did occur. And so they hating on the music cause they're insecure. So now I'm on the mission, giving these kids vision. So they could envision being more than a vision. Listen, life cuts deep, like an incision. But love is the physician that cures any condition. Come on. Come and get your love. And all my people say, come and get your love. And all my ladies say, come and get your love. And all the girls say, come and get your love. And everybody say, come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your love now. Come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your love now. Come and get your love. Come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your love now. Come and get your love, come and get your love.
I like that. I like that.
Ride for you, heart shake eyes for you. Even left on my drama behind for you. No biggie, fight in your city. X7, yes, they all with me. Spread love on day-to-day basis. Watch come back, my flows are oasis. Oh baby, these were both Vegases. No way for her, so dangerous. It's the way to beat your neck, make your hair rock when it's ringing to the speaker box. Coming from my spot, is you ready? I go up the docks, love turning drugs every time that my vocals drop. Smooth flow, when no singing to a vocal box. Clubs worldwide, it ain't only in the local spots. We the ones to watch, so it's a preview. We're Max 7 in the spot for the people. Come and get your love. And all my people say, come and get your love. And all my ladies say, come and get your love. And all the girls say, come and get your love. No. And everybody say, come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your love now. Come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your love now. Come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your love now. Come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your love now. Say you wanna ride, now you ride with a top down. In Miami, in the Miami. White sandy beaches in the water with your melody. Take it from me, baby girl. Hey. You want like you show you the world. Hey. I'll be the thief, you'll be the queen. We'll run together forever, you see. Last name man, first name super. Come and get your love, baby. I pay for the Uber. Come and get it, it's down, we taking it to ya. Can't hate on my super, we taking the Uber. Indigenous style, that's why you never knew her. Love, 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 love like this, right this. Hands up like this, it's like this.
Nice.
That's all it is. Come and get your love. Come and get your love. Hey,
Come get your love. That shit's hard. That shit's hard. Come and get it now. Come and get it. Come and get it. Come and get it now.
A little round dance, baby. Yeah.
When will when are we gonna get a chance to hear it?
That we're working on a project that will be hopefully out in 2025 that will feature the music, but also like a visual component so that the world can receive it. World premiere here, bro, only with you, man, and all the people.
And I really appreciate that, you know, you're giving me, well, all of us an honor to hear it early, you know.
Yeah, man.
And shit's on the type, bro. I'm already getting, I can vibe to that for
That's
sure.
dope, man. I appreciate that, man. It's all from the heart. It's all with love, with respect for everybody. You know, thank you guys for tuning in and listening to our conversation. There'll be more, you know, in the future for sure. I want to continue building on this friendship. I consider you a relative, but also I'm honored that I can say, like, we have never met in person, but I can kick it with you, bro. I can hang out with you.
Oh, I know.
Feel like
Yeah,
you, my boy.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? And from this day on, I will always have ultimate respect. Stay on that positive path. You're the light. You are the blessing that the world needs to receive. So salute to you, bro. Gracias.
Gracias.
All right, my
Appreciate
brother.
it.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, I los vemos. You guys have a good one, Taboo.
Gracias.